Okay, so as of now, you are all muted. All right, so please feel free to put on any music in the background as long as it's reasonably low and you can still hear me talk. We should be good to go. Where's my book? Okay. All right, so we're going to start off, as I do with most of my yoga practices, by laying down. So if you just come down onto your backs, and we'll center in from here. We'll just come into a Shavasana pose. So just lay your body down on your backs. Let your feet roll away from side to side. Let the arms roll out to the sides. Oh, that's better. Tuck the chin a little. Snuggle your shoulders into the ground. And just take a moment to center in. So just take a moment to arrive, become present in this moment, at this time, in this place. So take a deep breath in. Just hold that breath for a moment. Let it fill your body. And then open the mouth and sigh everything out. Let it go. Let it go out into the universe. So as you lay here, we'll just take a few moments to allow the body to soften and come into stillness. And as I said, we're going to start at the base chakra today, the Muladhara, which is based at the base of your spine. And in yoga they have a central column of energy that runs up the center of the body from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. This is one of the main nadis, one of the main pathways of energy. And along that energy column are sited 7 chakras. And at the base we start with Muladhara, or simply known as the root chakra. The element of this chakra is earth, and the principle here is gravity and solidity. The purpose is foundation, support and stability, and the properties are to be grounded, steadfast and solid. The body parts associated here are the legs, the large intestine, the bones and the feet. Practices include grounding, widening the base, opening the leg channels, stillness, stability and strengthening of the legs. The actions are to push downwards, extend the roots, and surrender to gravity. The poses are, well, it's the base of every pose really, but especially the standing postures. The male energy of this pose is to extend into the earth, and the female energy of this chakra is to draw the nutrients up. If you're deficient in this chakra, we can sometimes find ourselves scattered, ungrounded and underweight. And when we're excessive here, we may find ourselves heavy and lethargic. And when we're balanced, we have a beautiful form. So just take a moment to think about your root chakra and where it is in the body, at the base of the tailbone there. And perhaps as you lay here, you want to envision a nice warm, glowing red light. And just see that now at the base of your chakra, the base of your spine, sorry. Not too bright, just kind of smouldering away there like the embers of a fire. as they're dying out, waiting to be reignited again, relit. Take a deep breath in again. Open the mouth and sigh that breath out. Draw the knees up into your chest very gently, just hug them in and have a little rock and roll over the spine. Just feeling how the floor, the base beneath you just presses deep into the back there, massaging into the organs as you just rock and roll gently across the spine from side to side. And then come to stillness in this pose where you just press lightly down on the shins and allow the tailbone to fall to the floor and also your shoulders. So we're not lifting and curling up like one of those. You remember like those little fishes that used to get in a Christmas cracker? Try not to be like one of those little fortune fishes, but rather allow the shoulders to relax down to the ground and the tailbone too. So those 3 points of your back are nice and flat to the floor. A little bit of pressure on the knees there. And just take 3 more deep breaths here. Feel the ground beneath you. Feel it pressing into your back, supporting you, stabilizing you, and rooting you. And then reaching for your strap, take your strap in one hand and extend both the legs up to the sky. You're going to pass your strap over the top of your left foot so that it rests into the arch of your foot. Take a hold of this strap with your left hand and just wind it around the hand so that you've got a nice good hold on it, and allow the right leg to float down to the ground. Now you may also want to have a block or a cushion here, depending on how much your flexibility is in your hip for you. And we're going to take a nice deep breath in. And then you're going to allow this leg just to fall out and away to the left. So it comes out at a right angle from the body. And again, like I say, if it doesn't come down to the ground easily, then by all means pop a block under your thigh or under your ankle and use something to help prop the leg up. Or you can just hold it there if that's comfortable for you with the forearm. Just push the elbow into the floor. Keep the forearm off the ground and just maybe give the leg a little support there. Wherever you find yourself, allow the leg to relax. Try not to hold the leg in any way. Don't use any muscle groups here. Don't switch on your quads or anything. Try to allow the leg to fully relax and release. It's perfectly okay to have some tension in the arm if you're holding it in that way. Or if the leg just reaches the floor, that's cool also. And just for the record, guys, just in case you're wondering, my foot doesn't go to the floor, you know. So some people's do if they're really open in the hips. My foot doesn't. I'm hovering my foot about 10 inches off the ground and I'm just supporting it through the strap, through the tension in my forearm. On our next inhale, we're going to bring that leg up to center and draw the right leg up to join it. And then maybe you can just slip the foot inside the strap to swap it onto the right arch. Swap the arm over, holding onto the strap now with the right hand, wrapping it around the hand there so that you've got a nice grip on it. Let the lower leg float down to the floor, and then again allow the right leg to fall away to the side. And again, just take it to wherever is comfortable. And we're just going to hold this here and just relaxing into that right leg, feeling a nice stretch. You know, it's the sensation of the stretch that we're looking for here. We're not looking for anything that causes you any discomfort or pain. As we're just opening up into the leg channels here. And this is one way of doing this, just opening up the leg channels, allowing any energy here to run freely. Now, I spoke briefly about the nadi, you know, this main nadi that runs up the center of the body. There are hundreds of nadis that crisscross all over the body, and little chakras at every intersection. There are thousands, actually. Obviously, the main one runs up the center of the body, but there are ones that run down through the legs, and this is one of the exercises we use just to open up into these channels. Just take a few more deep breaths here, trying to soften and relax into each exhale. Okay, on your next inhale, engage into the right quad, switch it on and bring it up to center. Bring up the left leg, and then just remove the strap and place it off to one side. I don't think we'll be needing that again, but keep it in hand's reach just in case. From here, I want you to bend into the knees. So bend the knees, lower the feet down towards your butt, and then push the knees forwards and settle the feet down onto the ground. We're going to come into Seto Bandhasana, which is our bridge pose, and we're going to do this very gently today because we're using it at the beginning of our practice. So I'm going to use it more as a warm-up rather than do the full holding the bridge pose. Maybe we'll come back to it later. So place the palms down on the ground, reach your fingers back towards your ankles, your heels. They don't have to touch, just send them in that general direction. And then really ground those feet down into the ground. Have the toes facing forwards, and we haven't Charlie Chaplin'd out the feet at all. And then on an inhale, just press down a little more into the feet and lift up your tailbone. Then lift up your mid-back. Start to lift up through the upper back as you raise the hips up towards the sky. On your exhale, just lower down exactly the same way that you came in, nice and gentle. Fully release that pelvis to the floor. Have a kind of spreading feeling through the tailbone there as you lower it onto the ground. And then on your next inhale, again, plug the feet into the ground, lift up the tailbone. Lift up the lower back, lift up the mid-back, and then rise it all the way to the upper back. So you're on your shoulder blades, squeeze the glutes, and just press your hips up towards the sky as high as you can. And on your exhale, release the glutes and allow the tailbone to come down to the ground, all the way to the floor. I'm going to do that one more time. So as you do this, when you pick up the tailbone, really tilt the tailbone back first of all. Sorry, lift the tailbone up so that you tilt the pelvis backwards. So you really feel your lower back digging into the ground as you come up through this. So on your next inhale, ground into the feet, pick up the tailbone only, and then the lower back, then your mid-back, and your upper back. And really squeeze the glutes together here and press those heels down into the ground and lift the hips up high to the sky. And on exhale, lower the body down nice and slowly to the floor. Good work, everyone. From here, just going to gently, I'd like you to roll over. So maybe just scoot off to one side and come over onto your tummies as you lay down on your tummy, facing forwards on your mat. And here we're going to come into our locust pose. But again, we're going to do this nice and gently today, nothing too strenuous. So lay your chin down on the ground. I'm not going to do that all the way down because I'd like to keep my head up so you can still hear me, guys. Take your arms back behind your body and place the palms, the backs of the hands down on the ground, palms facing up towards the sky. Very gently, we're just going to lift on an inhale, lift the body up, and exhale, lower the upper body down. On an inhale, just rise on up, lift the upper body to the sky. And exhale, release the upper body to the floor. Make sure that your feet are mat width distance apart. And squeeze the glutes as you lift the upper body. And again, inhale. And exhale. This time I want you to relax the shoulders down. And we're going to do the same, but with the legs. So we're going to come to the back of the body and come into locust pose in a different variation. So we're going to start with one leg at a time. So on an inhale, we're going to lift the right leg to the sky. So inhale, lift your right leg up. So you'll be digging, really connecting down through the top of the left foot. Then exhale, lower the foot to the floor. Inhale, lift the left leg. And exhale, release to the floor. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Your right hip bone will really connect into the ground here. And exhale, release. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, release. And just for fun, we're going to do both legs together. So on inhale, lift the legs up. You'll really connect the pubic bone down into the ground here as you do this. Keep the chin just softly on the floor. Hold. And exhale. Release the legs. Bring the palms back next to your heart. Just rock the hips from side to side just to release through the tailbone a little. Nice. And then from here we're going to move into Cobra. So keeping the palms next to your heart, we're just going to come into a little baby cobra. So inhale, just press into the palms just softly and come up, little baby cobra. And then I'd like you just to take the hands lightly off the floor, just check that wherever you are, that's where your baby cobra is. So just relax here, hold, relax, she says. Sorry, that's not the right word, is it? Hold your posture, squeeze the glutes again, and then exhale, release the chin to the floor. Now relax. I'm going to do that 2 more times. So inhale, engage your core, bring your navel back towards your spine as you lift the upper body, lighten the hands, squeeze the glutes together. Exhale, release the chin and the glutes as you unravel to the ground. Inhale 1 more time. Inhale, bring the upper body up into your Bhujangasana. Squeeze into the glutes. Hold. Exhale, chin to the floor. From here we're going to come up onto our knees, guys. So we're just going to come up onto a tabletop position. Find yourself on your knees. I've just been joined by Jake. I don't know if anybody can see that. He's just plopped himself down into the middle of my mat, so I'm going to try and work around him. I don't know if you can see him there, just underneath me. Little chap. He's very blind and deaf these days, so there's no point me trying to make him go somewhere else. He just goes where he pleases. Okay, so we'll just do a few cat-cows here just to warm up into the spine a little more. So inhale, lower the tummy to the floor. Take your gaze and your tailbone towards the sky. And exhale, curl the tailbone under and press the ground away. As you come into the cat part of the pose. Inhale, lower the tummy to the floor. And exhale, release. Press the ground away through the palms. Tuck the tailbone under and push the ground away. Find that high point between your shoulder blades. Inhale, lower the tummy down. Raise your tailbone and your gaze to the sky. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under first, ride the spine like a wave to between the shoulder blades and press the ground away as you protract your shoulder blades forwards. Hold it here. And then allow the breath to take you on an exhale to neutral. I'm going to come up into mountain pose from here. Now, mountain pose is very similar to down dog, but it's not quite the same. Mountain pose really is like a triangle. We're trying to get an equal sided triangle with the body and the floor, whereas down dog is a little bit more elongated and there's a little bit of a back bend in the spine with a down dog. So here we're going to come into triangle. So you'll probably find that you're absolutely fine where you are with your feet as they are in the position they're in, as long as your knees are directly below your hips and your hands are underneath your shoulders. And if they're there, then you should be able to just tuck the toes and then lift the knees by engaging into the quads and the core. Lift the knees off the ground and take the hips up and then settle the weight into the heels. As you come into this slightly more shortened version of downwards facing dog, you might even want to step the feet in a little, and maybe you'll find your heels will connect to the ground. And now this is a very stabilizing pose, triangle being a very stable, building shape. And here we're creating that for ourselves on the ground. I'm just going to take 5 deep breaths here. So every breath, take a moment to energize the body. And every exhale, take a moment to soften and find a place to arrive into stillness. Two more breaths. Feel how your body fills out the side body when you take in a really nice deep long breath, and maybe even open the mouth and expel that breath out on the exhale as a nice big cleansing breath. And then from here, everyone, we're going to move forwards to Uttanasana, which is our forward fold or our back body stretch to the front of the mat. So just walk up to the front of the mat, nice and slow. Come up to just behind your hands. I would suggest having the feet about 6 inches apart, about hip width distance apart. Let me shut this and you'll see me a bit better. That's better. And I would take a hold of the ankles to start with. So wrap the thumbs around the front of the ankles. Take a hold of the ankles, lock your elbows out, and just allow the upper body to be supported by the arms. Try to reach the crown forwards, keeping the upper spine long as you extend out through the cervical spine, your neck, and extend the crown down in what feels like a diagonal line from your hip to the ground. Almost like we're creating like another triangle. And now we're going to release the hands from the ankles, take a hold of the opposite elbows, and then allow the upper body just to come down a little bit more, but try to lead with the crown as you take that down towards the floor. Uttanasana. Nice stabilizing, have a sense of that connection through the feet, through your toes, your heels, as they connect into the ground, the earth beneath you. And don't worry if you're on a first floor, the energy of the ground, the energy of the earth always travels. Let the head hang. Okay. And then release the elbows. Take the fingertips either side of the feet. And we're going to step the right foot back to come into our low lunge, Anjaneyasana. So step the right foot to the back of the mat. Really get behind that foot. Remember, really set it back. Don't just take a little half-hearted step back. Let's see if we can get that foot quite far to the back of the mat, and then lower the knee down. So we've got a nice long femur bone here, as we got this nice angle, this diagonal angle, so it's not underneath the hip, and the knee is over the ankle joint at the front. Flatten off the foot behind you and bring your palms to the heart center. So we just could take this into a prayer lunge. How are we doing, everyone? Good. Nice. Good work. Just hold. When you're in this pose, it's good to, the glute that's on the side of the long leg, so in this we're in the right glute, just give the right glute a little tweak, just squeeze it, and you're like, oh, that gives me a bit of stability, that's quite nice. It'll also firm up your glutes, which is even better. Your glutes are one of the biggest, well, they are the biggest external stabilizing muscle that we have. From here, we're going to move this into a half splits, half Hanumanasana. So we're going to take the hands back to the ground again, either side of that front foot, and we're just going to take the hips back. So hopefully everything could stay where it is. So we take the hips back, and then you'll see that that front leg now straightens. And if you wish to make this a little deeper, if you want to stretch into that quad a little more, come up onto the heel. I'll just take my hand away so you can see, and the toes press up towards the sky. This will give you a nice deeper stretch into the hamstrings. Good work. And we're just going to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just ride it forwards. Come back into that low lunge. Tuck the toes behind you, and we're going to push off the back foot and come back into that forward fold to the front of the mat. So press off the back foot, join the feet together, maybe a little distance apart. Take a moment just to allow the upper body to drape towards the floor. Lead with the crown. And then press into the fingertips again, lift the upper body, and step your left foot now to the back of the mat. Lower the back knee to the ground. Hopefully you've got a nice long stance here. Flatten off the back foot, press off the fingers, and arrive back in your prayer lunge. Just press the palms together, connecting all the fingertips. Maybe take the thumbs and just touch it into the heart space there, connect into your heart. Squeeze the left glute. Feel how that changes the dynamic of the pose. And look forwards. Take your jisti out in front of you. How are we doing? Nice. Good work, everyone. And then from here, we're going to take the hands down again, back either side of that front foot on the fingertips. You'll find it a lot easier. And then we're going to move this into half Hanumanasana. So take the hips back. Hopefully you can just take the hips back, straighten into that front leg. If that's not available for you guys, sorry, I should have mentioned on the first time round, if that's not for you, then a couple of blocks, books even. I've got a London brick, which is a little bit, but you could put a block here and you just have the hands up a bit higher. Okay, so that's something that you can do if you're finding that taking the leg back without it is a bit too much. And again, we'll just hold this here. Nice deep stretch. I love this pose. Nice deep stretch into those hamstrings. And again, if you want to come up onto the heel and take the toes up towards the sky, and just feel how that increases the sensation of the stretch. That's really cool. Nice. And inhale, come forwards back into that low lunge. Tuck the toes and step forwards back into Uttanasana. Just take a moment just to grab the ankles, let the head hang, and just allow yourself to sway from side to side as you ground each foot one at a time into the floor. And then from here, I'm just going to stand and face the camera, but you guys should be able to stay where you are. We're going to come from here into Utkatasana, which is our chair pose. So remember this grounding down through the feet. Take your fingertips either side of your feet now, just touching the middle finger to the ground. Bend into the knees. Go as low as you can. And then sweep the arms as you come up into your chair pose. I'll go sideways again so you can see. Okay, so we're just sitting down as though we're about to sit back into a chair. Anybody that comes to my classes regularly knows I hate this posture. It's not my favourite, but you know, your quads will love it. So try to sink a little lower. And then as we just let the breath out, as we inhale, you're going to press down through the feet, rise on up to standing, let the hands float to the sides of your body, but come up onto your toes. Ooh. And then exhale, release to normal standing. Inhale, take the arms up to the sky. And exhale, sit down into the heels as you come back into that Utkatasana. Inhale, push the palms down as you rise on up, all the way up onto your toes. And exhale, release. I'm going to do that one more time. I think we've lost my head off the thing, but I think you guys have got the gist of it. One last time. Inhale, rise on up. You just rise on up into your chair pose. I've just got to put the dog on the sofa because he doesn't know where to go. There you go, you stay there. So rise on up to chair pose. And then lower the hands down as you breathe in. Come up onto the toes. Exhale, release. Good work. Okay. From here we're going to step to the side. If you can come sideways on your mat, that would be really cool. We're going to come into goddess pose. Kind of, hopefully when I squat down, I'll come back into view. You want to take the feet about 3 foot apart, 2.5 feet apart, a leg length's distance apart. Turn the toes out slightly on a 45. Bend into the knees. And then you're going to bring the arms across the body. And you're going to take them all the way up to the sky. Let them fan out to the sides as they drop down into your goddess squat. Okay, so tilt the tailbone forwards. Tilt the pelvis backwards. Draw in through the waist. And try to bring the ribs in towards each other. Stand strong. This is quite a strong pose to hold, so we're going to do it in 3 stages. So inhale, just rise on up. Let the arms relax to the sides. And then inhale, sweep the palms across the body. And as you exhale, bend into the knees and bring the elbows down into this cactus arms, into this goddess squat. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release the palms to the side. One last time. Inhale. Exhale, come down into your goddess squat. Good. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Whew. Okay, I'm just going to give me a little bit more headroom on the camera. There we go. Okay, you are going to need your strap again, guys. I did think we did. So if you have got your strap to hand, grab your strap. Whew. Take a glug of water if you need to. Builds some heat doing that. Or is it just, that's because I've stood up. It's hotter up here than it is down on the floor. Okay. So remember, Muladhara is all about grounding, stabilizing, energy down, nutrients up. We've done a lot of poses where we're connecting the body to the ground beneath us. We're grounding down through the feet. Now we're coming into one of our standing postures. We did this laying down, Padangusthasana. So we did it laying down supine at the beginning, the one where we took the leg out to the side. We're now going to do exactly the same standing. So take your strap, you're going to pass it underneath the sole of the right foot, and take a hold just like you did when you were in your supine pose. Take your left hand to your waist and stand in a right angle. So to start with, we are standing in a kind of right angle to the ground. Then as you come up to standing, just straighten the back up and bring the strap onto the inside, so you stand with the knee just off and out to the side, like so. Then you're going to extend that leg out, and it could be low, it could be high. I'll go back to the side so you can see. So it could just be nice and low. You may want to take it up high, level with the ground. You can, if you wish, if your standing isn't great, if your balancing isn't your strongest point, find a wall, and by all means use a wall or a fireplace, anything that stabilizes you. From here, from here, keeping the hand on the waist, we're going to take that leg out to the side. Whee! Like a little sail. Try to keep the upper body straight. Try not to tilt. Oh! And find your drishti, find your gazing point out in front of you. Bring the leg back into center, lower it down, and then we're going to take the strap onto the other side, to the left foot, right hand into the thigh, come up to standing, bring the strap onto the inside of the knee, and again just take a hold of something if you wish, extend the leg out. Good work, everyone. I can suddenly just see all these feet just extending out towards the camera, and then take the left leg out to the side. Good work. Hold. Swing the leg back into center. And exhale, release the leg down. Remove the strap. Well done. Pop your strap off to one side. Okay. Coming down onto the ground. Come down into a cross-legged pose. A Siddhasana. Just a comfortable cross-legged pose. Nothing, we're not looking for half lotus or anything. Let me just move so you can see me again. I'll just tilt that down. There we go, sweet. So now we're back into a cross-legged pose. And we're going to take the right foot and you're going to place it into the crease of your left arm. So pick your right foot up and plop it down into the crease of your left hand. Take this left hand and let it just hold the shin. Take your right arm and let it cradle underneath the right knee. And we just rock from side to side. I love doing this. I absolutely, there's something just really comforting about it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's that maternal cradling a child feeling. I don't suppose you guys are getting that feeling at all. But anyway, it's a nice, nurturing, comforting pose, and it's a great stretch. It's a great stretch into the glutes, the IT band, and the quads. And it's nice to move the fascia and the connective tissues in this manner as well. These little bounces, these kind of little fluid motions are really good for your connective tissues. Then we're going to release this foot. You're going to extend that leg straight out in front of you. Let the left sole come into the right thigh. Sweep the palms up. And exhale, take a forward fold. Now, try to lead with the crown again. Keep the upper back nice and straight as you fold forwards, almost like you're closing up a clam and you're taking your upper body down. The destination is not your nose to your knee. It's just to create a stretch into the hips and to the hamstrings. So take your hands wherever they fall naturally. Keep the crown extending long. Have a sense of extending the crown forwards rather than allowing the upper body to come down. That's not the intention here, or not today. I want you to think long into the spine, and you'll feel that in your lower back if you are pressing out through the crown. And if a result is that you can come in a bit lower to the leg, then that's superb. 2 more breaths here. And then press yourself back up to upright. Bring that right leg back in. This time pick up the left foot. Going to take that into the crux of the right elbow. Just cuddle it in there. Place that right hand around the shin. Cuddle it underneath the left knee. And again, just little rocks from side to side. Just start to feel, you know, how your hips feel, what the flexibility that you have. You know, this, how do your connective tissues feel into your hip joints? Do you think you've got quite a lot of motion there, quite a lot of movement? Or does it feel really sticky and notchety? You know, what's going on? And then we're going to release this leg now out in front of us. Nice straight long leg. Bring the sole of that right foot into the left thigh. On an inhale, sweep the palms up. And exhale again. Lead with the crown as you take that lean forwards over that left leg. And again, feel like you're just closing up a clam here. You know, upper body to the lower leg. And keep the spine long and the crown lifted and forwards. One more really deep breath. Take that breath really deep down into the back body. And then maybe open the mouth and just sigh everything out. Press the body back to upright. This time, we're going to come down onto our back. So pivoting on your sit bones any way that you need to. Bring yourself into the center of your mat. And then lower. Just unravel through the spine. Almost rounding through the back. As you allow the spine to just come down section by section onto the ground. Let the head fall to the floor behind you, settling onto the ground like a feather. And then bring the feet back in. We're going to revisit that Setu Bandhasana, but we're going to do it a little bit more dynamically now. Flatten the hands off on the ground. Press those feet into the floor. Feel that connection into the earth. On your inhale, lift up the tailbone. Lift up your lower back, the mid back, and the upper back. Then exhale, release the same way you went up. Come down through the spine, release the tailbone to the floor. Inhale, press the ground away through the feet, lift up the tailbone first, lift up the lower back, then your mid back, then your upper back. This time squeeze into the glutes, switch on your quads, and really press the hips up towards the sky as much as you can. On your exhale, release the body, release the upper body and the hips back down to the floor. Now the next time we go up, we're going to super hold it, going to bring the arms under the body and come into the pose, into its deepest variation. So prepare yourself, and then on your next inhale, press the ground away, lift the hips up high, squeeze the glutes, dig your shoulder blades into the ground, bring the hands together, bring the heels of the hands together, maybe flick out the index fingers, crossing down all the others, find your Kali Mudra. Work at bringing the energy of the chest in towards the chin as you really squeeze into the glutes now. This is our goal pose, perhaps you could say, really grounding down through the shoulders, through the feet, into our Setu Bandhasana, your bridge pose. Hold for 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let the arms release, let them roll away, flick the shoulders up, come up onto your tiptoes, guys, and then allow the upper body, the upper back just to unravel through the spine, down onto the ground. Good work. Good work. Send your left heel out to the corner of the mat. Send your right heel down to the corner of your mat. Drag in any blankets or anything from around that you would like for your Shavasana. Switch off any lights if they're close to hand. And find yourself in stillness in the center of your mat. Now I don't know if any of you can hear this, but Jake's snoring. It's really cute. So allow your feet to roll away from each other. Let your arms roll out and away from the body with the palms facing upwards. Snuggle your shoulders into the ground below. Tuck the chin a little. And settle yourself down as you surrender to the ground beneath you. You are about to go on a journey. It is a journey through the layers of your own self. It is a journey through your life, through the worlds within and around you, and it begins here, in your own body. It begins now, wherever you are, and it is your own personal quest. Make yourself comfortable, for the journey is not short. It could take months, years, or even lifetimes, but you have already chosen to go. You began a long, long time ago. You have been provided with a vehicle in which to take this journey. It is your body. It is equipped with everything you might need. One of your challenges on this journey is to keep your vehicle nourished, happy, and in good repair. It is the only one you will be given. So we begin our journey by exploring our vehicle. Take a moment to feel your body. Feel it breathing in and out. Feel your heart beating inside, the moisture in your mouth, the food in your belly, the sensation of cloth on your skin. Explore the space that your body occupies, height, width, weight. Find the front and back, top, bottom and sides. Begin a dialogue with your body so that you may learn its language. Ask your body how it feels. See if it is tired or tense. Listen to the answer. How does it feel about going on this journey? You have been given a vehicle for this journey, but it is not something you have. It is something you are. You are your body. You are a body living a life in this physical world. Getting up in the morning, eating, going to work, touching, sleeping, bathing. Feel your body going through its daily routines. See the number of interactions it has with the outside world in a day. Notice the interchange of hands, touching doors, steering wheels, other hands, papers, dishes, children, food, your lover. Think about how your body has grown and learned and changed over the years. What does it become to you? Do you ever thank it for taking care of you? What is the world like that your body interacts with? Feel the textures, the smells, the colours and sounds around you. Be your body feeling them. All your sensations your mind might miss, but the body experiences. Feel the hardness of the earth in wood, cement, metal. Feel its straight lines, its solidity, its permanence. Feel the soft firmness of the earth in its natural state, with its trees and grasses, lakes, streams and mountains. Feel its curving gentleness, its protection and abundance. Feel the richness of this planet with its infinity of forms. Feel its immensity, its solidity, and how it supports you as you sit in your place on it, reading this book. This planet is a vehicle too. It takes us through time and through space. Feel the earth as a central unified entity, a living body just like you with an infinity of cells working together as a whole. You are a cell in this great body, part of Mother Earth, one of her children. We begin our journey here, on this great body of earth. Our long climb upward begins by going down. We go down into this body. As we go down into our bodies, into our flesh, into our guts, into our legs and our feet, digging our roots deep into the earth, which supports and nourishes us. We move deep into her rocks and soil, and deep into her guts of red-hot lava, seething deep below, into her source of life and movement and power. When we sink deeply, we come to the base of our spine and find a red glowing ball of energy, glowing like the core of the earth. Feel this molten energy running down your legs, through your knees, into your feet. Feel it running through your feet, into the earth beneath you, and down, down into the ground. burrowing between rocks and roots, finding nourishment, support and stability. Feel this cord of energy as an anchor, settling you and calming you and grounding you. You are here. You are connected. You are solid, but you are molten inside. Deep within your roots, you find your past, your memories, your primal self. Your connection here is simple, direct. You remember your heritage, your ancient self as a child of the earth. She is your teacher. What is this matter that comes from the earth? Well, think of a chair that you have sat on, the tree that it once was, the cotton in the field, the cloth on the loom, the workers that transported it, sold it, sat on it before. Think of the things you have, the complexity in each one of them, their abundance. Think of the financial abundance you may have, however large or small it may be. Think of it as a gift from the earth. How does it come to you? What does your body do to get it? What do you use it for? Think of this money as a stream of life running into you and out of you, through your hands, your heart, your feet and your mind. And as it flows through you, feel yourself in constant exchange with the earth. Let the feeling of abundance come up from the earth into your feet, your legs, your pelvis, your stomach, your heart and your hands. Feel its expression in your throat, its recognition in your vision, its imprint in your mind. Take a deep breath and let it go down again, through your body, through your head, neck, shoulders, arms, chest, belly, legs and feet, and down into the earth. Down below the surface of the earth, finding stability, finding nourishment, finding peace. Your body is the journey, and it is where you begin. It is your connection to the physical world, your foundation, the home of your dance. You are the place from which all action and understanding will arise, and to which it will return. You are the testing ground of truth. You are the ground on which all things rest. You are the earth from which all things grow. You are here. You are solid. You are alive. You are the point from which all things begin. Take a deep breath in. Open the mouth and sigh that breath out. Gently touch each fingertip with your thumbs and your toes, wriggle your toes. And start to bring some awareness into the physical body now. As you start to stretch and move, as you come back from wherever you were, back into this moment, at this time, in this place. When you've stretched it out enough, guys, just roll over to the right, take a moment there. And then when you're ready, come on up to a seated pose on your mat. I'm going to unmute you all now, so if you have any music on, maybe just pause it. So you are now all unmuted. So just coming into an easy cross-legged pose. Bring your palms to the heart center. I'd like to thank you all for joining me in this practice this evening. It's a nice, gentle, easy practice. I do hope you have a lovely rest of your evening, and do drink some water, and I will see you all next week. All right, namaste. All right, thank you everyone. All right.
Have a good week yourself.
I will. I will. Thank you guys. Thank you for coming. All right. I will let you go and have a nice blissful rest of your evening, and I shall see you next week. All right. Bye.